Welcome to another live Pittsburgh Sportsline show in the BPTV studios. Thank you for watching us. We're right here in Bethel Park. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Smokin' Jim Frazier. We got Chip Hayner and Nick Callis, our rookie broadcaster. We're trying to help his future career in broadcasting. He does it at Waynesburg. And
how about our baby-faced?
Oh, I shaved. Yeah, I did shave.
He looked like Grizzly Adams last week. He looks like baby-faced Nelson this week.
Hold it. I need a close-up on this. Can Connor get in on this? Miss Elaine baked mac and cheese.
So good. So good.
Delicious. Will you get me in on that? I already took 3 bites.
It is very good.
Delicious. Miss Elaine, thank you very much. Very unique mac and cheese. I got to get the ingredient list. Maybe they can put that on the show if Anthony has it.
How about the breadcrumbs on the chin?
Oh, wait a second. Thanks, Chip. I figured the mask would cover everything up, like it did on the meatball.
While we're on
I had meatball sauce in the last.
While we're on the hygiene, did you get the Zazu? I mean, you look less Einstein-ish this week.
No. It was shower and hair day today, so it's a little under control, but thank you very much. See what I got to put up with. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 here in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between. Thanks for all the likes on Facebook. We're down to 6,898 likes, so we're still hanging in there around that 6,900 mark, so thank you for all those likes. We appreciate it. We've got a lot of sports and other stuff. Who knows what Smokin' Jim will bring up? I already stopped him on one question. We're not going to talk about it because he couldn't explain what it was about.
No, he couldn't. He wouldn't.
Well, I was trying to be nice. Thank you for being honest. And I do have some promos here. We'll start up with Olive Oil's Pizzeria. Move that down. Look what Connor did. 412-831-1900, Hillcrest Shopping Center. Go there. They're open. I drove by a couple times. I got to stop in to see if Frank still owns the place. I'm not sure. Great Italian food. Great salads, you name it. They have great things there. Hoagies, specials, all kinds of things. They even mail stuff out to your house. Go check it out there and stop on in. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, sent you. Next up, Bethel Park Historical Society, Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road with the red trolley right out front. It's a 1905 schoolhouse. They remodeled everything inside and out, all new windows, brand new roof, got different grants. They're doing a lot of great things there. They have events when they're possible, so stay tuned. When they become possible again, you can actually go to their website and donate money to them. They're a 501c3, and they do great things in Bethel Park. Next up, we honor Joey Favis, 9-year-old boy, died of DIPG, a dreaded brain cancer. It's a death sentence. Died before his 10th birthday 7 years ago. So we honor him with Stay Joey Strong. You can go to Joey Favis Childhood Cancer Foundation, another 501c3. Donate your time when they have events or donate money so you can help them out. They've raised over $100,000 to find a cure for DIPG. So they do great things with that family. Next up, Bethel Park Community Foundation. Look at that pick. Connor's on fire. And he's wearing shorts, and it was nice and warm today, although it was rainy, so he's right in tune with it. Smoking Jim came in and said, Connor, we dress alike. Smoking Jim doesn't feel hot or cold, but he's dressed for winter. Oh, did that slip out? Well, his pants were long. That was my point of this. But check out the bpcf.org, get an application. We have grant money for you. I'm a trustee on the board, from $100 to $5,000 for your group doing great things in Bethel Park. We've given out over $1 million over 25 years, and we're not going to stop. We help a lot of great groups in Bethel Park. Next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. There's my smiling face, taking the place of Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al Levine, the talking machine, wants you for BPTV, like Nick, the cameraman, audio man, and one of our co-hosts. Connor doing great work on this. Look, he did this centered perfectly. I don't know how he does it. He must have it on manual because he got a heck of an eye. And then you got Anthony doing the video and audio, making us sound good and look good at the same time. So give us a call, 412-831-3304. Next up, here's the test. So far, he's undefeated. That's Connor. What's he going to come up with? Look at this shot before we see him focus in. Unbelievable. 6103, Route 88. Give a call, 724-348-4715. Skeet Service Station, owned by Skeets Lewandowski. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. Chip always says make sure you got some gas in so they can check it out. Lawnmowers, weed whackers, cars, trucks, boats, you name it. Name something, they work on it. They also work on electric devices and can fix your tools. So check them out. They're only about 6 miles here from Bethel Park in Finleyville. So go to Skeet Service Station. He helps sponsor What's on Your Mind. Speaking of what's on your mind, Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Here's my wind up.
you got to see Levine. I took my eyes off of that one, brother.
That was the low fastball.
Hey, man, I was thinking about my main man Corner the other day ago, you know what I mean? The guy that'll be kicking Friday nights for Gateway. But
Wrong disclaimer right off the bat. He lives in Baldwin. He works as an intern here in Bethel Park. He has no interest in Gateway, where they give you an address and no education. And I'm serious. Just check the history. Look at, we have a non-math major, a non-math history major. You name it. He didn't major in any of those.
that's true.
And he doesn't know English, even though he's a writer. I can't figure it out because I've researched it. Nobody even knows what number he wore back then because he's changed it a couple times. I've asked. I've been around. So if you can find out the true identity of Smoking Little Jimmy Frazier, that's what the key is.
But here's the reason why I thought of Corner, because a soccer player got into it with LeBron James. I figured it was the soccer player that taught LeBron how to flop. But maybe I was wrong.
You were wrong.
Hey, listen, I got to ask Nick this question. I asked everybody else the question already. Corner and Anthony's off air. How old are you, Nick?
22.
Nick is 22, so he's old enough to answer this question. Everybody else is. I've been trying to find out. All my life, I've traveled all over the country, and I could never find. Have you ever seen in your 22 years of living, and 22 is my favorite number, have you ever seen a Chinese funeral home? The answer is no. We never seen one. But tomorrow, I got lunch with me and Al Levine's friend, beautiful model that's half 50% black, 50% Indian, and 100% fine. And we're going to the Chinese restaurant in Oakland. And after I eat, I'm going to ask, where y'all go after you? But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yeah.
Pasta 2 saved me, brother.
What happened?
I go into Pasta 2.
Yeah, they had food.
The marquee don't have my special. You know, I get the prime ribs.
That was only temporary.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't understand that
So I
stuff.
sit down in the chair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They let you in.
And I can't read it.
Hold it. They let them in.
I always go in the order, and then they send me right back to my car.
Well, because you don't understand that you could tell somebody outside and they'll take your order.
I don't want to do that.
See? And he says it's a race thing.
I like to leave a 50-cent tip. You can't do that out in the car. So Elavina talking machine. I can't read an Italian menu. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to read the menu, and luckily this one lady recognizes me. She says,
How come? How did she recognize you?
I don't know. I guess since I'm the only one with my complexion getting the protection.
There it is.
This race card of the episode is sponsored by Chick-fil-A. 3 straight episodes.
So Al Levine, the lady says, "Are you dining in today?" You know?
Yeah.
And I said, "No." I said, I don't know what to order. She says, "You always get the prime rib." I said, "It's not on the marquee." She says, "Oh, we still got the lunch menu up." So I was able to order.
Wow.
Al Levine, the taco machine. Then I go to Planet Fitness. They had this blonde girl, Al Levine, other than Kim Kardashian, I never seen nobody this beautiful. Had this Adidas outfit on, and she had a tan like you used to get.
Yeah.
Nice old spray tan, Al Levine, the taco machine. Beautiful. But here's the question. My dad got the COVID shot. I know you don't want to talk about it. He got the second shot. Now, the first shot went good. Second shot, he got sick. Have you heard that sometimes with the second shot, you get sick?
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to let you know, to give you a little warning.
Actually, that's a very good sign. That means that your immune system is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and it's building up antibodies to fight the virus.
You white guys eat up anything they tell you. Anything they feed you.
Whoa.
Come on.
Negative.
Did it help Hank Aaron?
Negative.
Did it help Hank Aaron?
Negative.
See, I wasn't going to talk about it. He pushed me to it.
Negative Ned strikes again, because almost everybody in America, whether they went to Gateway or not, knows that when you react to the shot on the second shot.
What about the Johnson shot?
How about the Johnson one? It's immediately, because it's actually good for 4 weeks before you're actually, immune to COVID. But it has so many good things in it that your body's working against that.
You guys are like sheep. They just tell you anything. But hey, this is what's on my
Smoking
mind.
Jim, the nice thing about you is whatever people tell you, it isn't good. Only here's what's good with Smoking Jim. The last person he talks to, that's God.
Somebody just told me you get the shot, they
See?
can track you. They can track you. Somebody
Oh,
just told me
yeah.
that.
Here,
I ain't getting out. I don't want them tracking me. I've been on the run for 20 years.
Jim, all I got to say is bet Duke tonight.
yeah. But this is what's on my mind. Oh, I just got text from the half Indian, half black. Hey, listen, El Levine, the talking machine.
Tony, if you're watching, he's out of control with the race card.
This is
Sponsored by
what's on my
Chick-fil-A.
mind. Pittsburgh Steelers' worst coaching staff of all time.
Yeah.
Horrible coaching staff. They get rid of Bradley, a great defensive back coach with plenty of experience that can tell a lot of stories.
Yeah.
And they hire Greedy Grady Brown, no NFL experience, coached at Louisville. Horrible move. And that's what's on my mind. Horrible.
I'm glad you
Horrible
finally got
coaching
to it,
decisions.
because I was nervous for you. And since you don't believe in COVID, don't get a shot, okay?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a guinea pig.
There's already been, 80 million people that got shots, and they're all alive.
There's one country that.
And we
couple
know where
hundred
every
people
single one
died.
of them are.
Yeah.
And we know where every single one of them
They
are.
know who they are.
No, we know where they're at.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
by the
yeah,
minute. By the minute. Just like they know where I'm at. Here's where mine was. And I got sore right around the shot the next day, and it went away. That's what I had on my first shot.
Somebody said they seen you holding the, after you got your you passed your urine test,
Yeah.
and you was holding the cup, and it looked like urine. They
No,
thought
no,
that was
let
it.
me explain.
They thought that team was
I
it.
read years ago, because unlike you, I don't read books. that some of the Hindu monks were drinking urine and said it would help them. So I figured, why not do
That's
it?
good. That's good. It's good for you.
It's healthy.
Yeah, cup. Yeah, it is your own.
1 cup a day.
Drink your own urine. Yeah,
How'd you get smart on that now?
Hey, anything.
Enough of what's on our mind with
Anything that helps you
Smoking
play
Jim.
better.
Sports talk.
Yeah,
guys.
we're going
Sports talk.
to Chip Hayner. What's on your mind?
Oh, what's on my mind? How about something that has something to do with sports? Wouldn't that be a first?
Tonight would be a first.
Yeah, well, hey, what's on my mind? Spring training baseball, the Grapefruit League, and look what the Pirates are doing.
Won more games than
6-4
last year.
and 1. And, you know, the one thing, if I actually watched the game on Sunday. It was kind of fun to watch. They
Good.
scored 13 runs.
I saw that.
And they only gave up 1. But the one thing that I'm seeing out of this team is I'm seeing a competitive baseball team that's playing as many innings as they play that day. Could be 7 one day, could be 8, could be 9.
Right.
It looks like they gave the Yankees everything that they had over 2 games. Played a great game last night, down 5-0. Tied up the game in the bottom of the 5th with a couple of home runs, a 1-run homer, a grand slam. We tied the game. Ultimately, we lost 6-5 last night. Today, they fell behind the Baltimore Orioles 5-3. Ended up winning the game 7-5.
Nice.
So, going to be a lot of interesting things to see down at PNC Park this year. I have tickets to 2 games in April. I will be going down to PNC Park to witness my favorite pastime and my beloved Pirates playing baseball. It's going to be a real treat. I haven't seen a baseball game live in over a year, and I truly do miss it. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there socially distanced, wearing a mask, whatever it takes. But I'm there to root my team on. That's what's on my mind.
Chipper.
Oh, no. Get ready.
2 years ago, I put 2. You know, I get free Pirate tickets sometimes. 2 years ago, I had 2 extra Pirate tickets. I put it on the windshield of my car. I went in the store, came back, and there was 10 tickets on my car. But hey, Chip, here's a question, Chip. Here's a question, Chip.
He's told this before,
will the Pirates
just so you know.
lose 98 or 99 games this year? You said not 100. 98 or 99?
Neither.
All right. Thank you for that, Chip. We appreciate it. Smoking Jim, no thanks for what you added to that. Because you repeated that story from 2 years ago.
Nick didn't hear it.
Nick also wants to talk before the timer goes off.
Well, as we all know, Smoking Jim is an entertainer, and he proved it again. We're going to go with some more sports talk.
It's a good thing he keeps himself entertained, huh?
Yes. We'll take it away, Nick. What's on your mind?
Well,
Go
I will
ahead.
say, honestly, for the first time, I saw Chip's face because he's always worn his mask when I've been around him, and he took it off before everybody else got here to eat his mac and cheese. So I was just like, wow. Shocking.
And you know what? He said what everyone else says when I take my mask off. What a handsome fellow.
He just looks great. But
Okay, back to
on a
sports.
more
Back to
sports
sports, Chip. Enough of that.
Hey,
My
far
favorite-
be it for me to toot my own horn, but toot.
That's the first time tonight. Sorry.
But my favorite video game is getting its new rendition next month, MLB The Show. And I just wanted to say, first, I'm excited because I get the game every year. But also, they put Jackie Robinson on the cover of the special edition, along with Fernando Tatis Jr. on the standard version. I think that's kind of cool because Fernando Tatis Jr. kind of got that flack last year for hitting a grand slam.
Yes.
When he apparently shouldn't have, which I don't agree with, but that's a whole other argument. But Jackie Robinson on the cover too. It's for their special edition. It's I think it's their 15th anniversary now, so they're doing
Look at
something
his
special.
swing,
I
it's
know,
so
yeah.
bad.
Smoke it, yeah. I mean, it looks great.
No, it's bad.
I know.
Look at the hits he got in there.
On-
How do you get it like that?
Yeah,
just wide.
that's why his batting average was 0-0-0.
If he can't tell me who his coach was and his catcher, because he said he pitched, he did not play. No, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say it though. I think that's super cool, and I'm excited to get the whole special edition with the memorandum for their 15th anniversary.
That is
and,
great.
Yeah, I think it's cool they're putting Jackie Robinson on the cover, and that just reminds me too that they're acknowledging the Negro Leagues in Major League Baseball now. I mean, that's old news, but it's all
No, I want to thank you for not saying that during Black History Month.
Oh, well.
Because you're allowed to talk about this all year.
Exactly. Sure.
You don't have to be like Smoking Jim and be segregated where you only talk about Black history during February. He has a history of 9 years.
What's special about Jackie Robinson on the cover? They already.
Oh, okay. And that's what's on my mind.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What's on my mind is during COVID, I watch a lot of TV and there's sports on today, and my son's a West Virginia fan. So we figured we'd watch West Virginia. They're rated number 4 in the country. First half, they look good. Part of the second half, they look good. Towards the end of the game, they lost.
No.
The game should have been a half a second longer.
Yeah.
Who beat them? Baylor?
Yeah, and then the worst part about it, Oklahoma State. They beat them 3 times this year. The worst part at the end of the game, they're bringing the ball up, and my son's yelling, shoot the ball. They pass it around, sort of fumbled it. Kid gets the ball, the clock goes out, he drains a 3.
Wow.
1 second after the buzzer.
Half a second.
Yeah.
Half a second.
Chip
I
was
bet
right.
you. I bet you, Coach Huggins was just beside
Did you
himself.
see his face? They showed his face.
I didn't see it. I was busy
No,
working.
we're watching on TV. He just turned his back to the basket, and he's mumbling, walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he storms away. I love Huggy. He's a great coach.
He's a great coach. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, he's going to be joining the 900 Club.
Yes.
Very soon.
Yes. No doubt. But that's my sports thing. And as far as COVID, get the shot. Don't believe all the conspiracies and things like that. And if you're smoking Jim, just ignore it. Yes.
Is that the same Coach Huggins when he coached at Cincinnati? Not one single player ever graduated. That Coach Huggins? That's what you're talking
He's the
about?
same
I
guy.
was wondering if it was the same.
No, we have a routine here that we have one guy on the panel that always goes negative, and he seems like such a nice guy, but he goes negative 99 out of 100 times on any and every subject.
It's the
Bingo.
Same, it's the same Coach Huggins that when B.B. Flannery was going up for a layup, he took his legs out and gave him a severe concussion, almost killed him. That Coach Huggins?
No, do
When he
you
was
know?
a player? I was just wondering if that's the same Coach Huggins
do
y'all
you-
talking about.
No, have you ever made a mistake in your life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do-
yeah. Giving Coach Huggins credit.
Now, to talk sports, we've all failed many more times in baseball. Smoking Jim will go, wow, how do you go in the Hall of Fame if you fail 7 out of 10 times?
Yeah. I'm still
And
wondering.
how does he do it being wrong 99 out of 100 times? I rest my case. We'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Gotcha.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. Thanks, my man, Chip Hayner. My main man, Corner, always got the swag style, and we dress totally alike. My man, Anthony, on the 1s and 2s, making us look good, not a hair out of place.
It's
And
shorter now. His hair's shorter
And I
now.
want to thank Nick, Corner, and Anthony for the autograph they gave me last week. Other than Willie Stargell, who I got his autograph when I was 6, I rode to his house to get it. There's the only 3 men I ever got
What was his
autograph from.
address?
I don't know, it was in Homewood. Rode my bike at 6 years old, man. Went to
I don't
Willie's-
believe that
went
story.
to Willie's house, man.
Where'd you live at then?
Not in Gateway.
Hey, I visit cousins on the weekend. I grew up in an all-white neighborhood, but for some reason all my relatives were black.
Yeah.
So on the weekends I visit my relatives in the hood, man. Yeah. So I had a good lifestyle. During the week I didn't see anybody black, and on the weekend I ain't see anybody white. Ain't that unique? But here's what's on my mind, Al Levine, the talking machine. Greatest player in Gateway history, John Gay, may he rest in peace, died of a heart attack. And I tell you what, man, this was a guy, when he was coming up, he was so great, Al Levine. We knew he was coming. When we was in junior high school, he was all world. His dad played on that 54-game winning streak Braddock team.
Wow.
Back in the day, so you knew the son was going to be good. He was so fast and athletic, and when he was only in 9th grade, from the time I met him to the time that he passed away, he always called me Mr. Frazier. I always carried myself so mature. I wore suits to school, carried a briefcase. wore Pierre Cardin glasses.
Wait a second.
$200-300 dress shoes when I was in school. Went to 21 and older clubs. Went to 11 proms.
How come the superintendent of Bethel Park knows you as Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy. Yeah. I don't know.
Does that mean you're wearing a suit, Little Jimmy?
We didn't go to high school together, me and him, but I did wear suits in college too.
Okay.
But I don't know why.
I'm just checking.
But I spent a lot of weekends over his house, the principal.
Understand.
Yeah, spent a lot of weekends. I was trying to get up on his sister, man. His sister was good looking, brother. But his dad had them Popeye forms to play for the Steelers.
Sports. Let's
so anyhow,
focus. Sports.
Man, just real quick. Yesterday, heroes are soon forgotten. His son is a great football player, probably going to make it to the NFL. And John Gay was just such a great player. He's the one that put Gateway on the national map for college coaches. You know what I mean? Coaches stayed away from Gateway like the plague. We were all crazy. But they had to come see him. He was so great. He had scholarships everywhere. But his senior year was the senior year of Bill Fralick. So his senior year was the greatest Gateway team ever. Bill Fralick played for the greatest Penn Hills team ever. It was so great that the playoff game was Friday night at Gateway. They canceled it. Only time they ever did that. They didn't change it to Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, because they was afraid of all the crime that was coming from Penn Hills. So Saturday morning they played a game. The place is absolutely packed. You couldn't see nothing. They shut down the mall. They shut down everything. Everybody was there. 20,000, 30,000 people were there. Just little kids up on the school. Bill Fralick and them took a lead late in the game. Friend of the show, quarterback Harvey Smith, gets the ball, throws it to Terry McFetrich, a wide receiver, white guy.
Wow.
He pitches it to John Gay. John Gay takes off with that 4.3 speed. Nobody could catch him. They knocked off Penn Hills, who was number 1 in the nation, number 1 in the state. Gateway was number 2. 2 weeks later, I go to the game. It's at Couple Stadium. They had a cement field then.
Yeah.
And Gateway partied all night. I know because I was at most of the parties with them. The players partied all night. They had no competition. They're playing this team that nobody respected with a bow-legged quarterback, team called Bethel Park. And Bethel Park upset Gateway, the number 1 team in the state. I still remember it's the only game that
Shout out to Bethel Park back in that day.
It was the first game that I didn't play in that I cried on the loss. I seen John Gay came off the field crying, tears everywhere.
So what the coach put you on the bench?
No, I wasn't on that particular team.
Dude, you know you played on that
He's
team.
too old. He's too old.
You know you were third string.
What year was that?
I wouldn't allow them to party if I was on that team.
What year? What year was that?
You know he was third
But
string.
that team had Bob Bukowski,
Wow.
who ended up getting picked up by the Raiders in the first round. John Gay.
That Polish guy.
Yeah.
He was a Polish guy.
Yeah, you see the Steelers didn't draft him.
Okay.
You know, they had so many great players. John Gay ended up going to Kentucky, started as a true freshman.
Yeah.
Kentucky offered him 2 cars. So he went to Kentucky. He didn't like it. He transferred to West Virginia. But he was the first player I ever seen that lost his speed. And I seen players, as I scouted years after this, and he was a model, he lost speed. He ran a 4.3 40 in high school. By the time he was a senior, he ran a 4.9.
Wow.
In his junior year, they beat Doug Flutie. He scored the winning touchdown. His fullback was Wolfley's brother that played a long time in the pros as a fullback. John Gay,
Ron Wolfley.
Yeah, him. And John Gay got moved to fullback his senior year because some of them running backs from Pitt transferred over. And he really wasn't a fullback. He got a tryout with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'll wind up with this. And his first carry was against the Chicago Bears, the 85 defense.
Wow.
A year after the 85 defense, John Gay goes 30 yards on his first carry. I'm like, he's going to make the team. The next play, he had to block Otis Wilson. Remember Otis Wilson?
I remember.
And Coach Noel found out he wasn't no blocker. I still see them elbows Otis was throwing. I think they cut him before the end of the game. And they ended up picking up Chuck Sanders had just got cut
Yeah.
from the San Diego Chargers. They replaced Chuck Sanders with John
Is that
Gay.
how Chuck got
and
here?
broke his heart. And John Gay sold me a car. Remember I don't know if you remember Pro Sports Ford.
No, I don't remember.
Brain showed me my 2001 brand new Sierra truck. I bought it right off the showroom. He gave me a gateway discount. So
You pay double. You pay
No.
double.
Yeah,
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Hey,
John Gay.
I got a message
He
from.
He told you which two wires to connect to start it.
Yes.
It's Mr. Frazier. That's to you. That's what John and them. Everybody call me
Mr. Frazier,
Frazier.
Tony from
All right.
Chick-fil-A just sent a message. Not enough race cards to go around tonight for Smoking Jim. Since he likes to gamble his money away, for sure, take Duke tonight.
Yeah.
Chip was on that one too, man.
We tried our best. I figured he's too wise. Well, thanks, Smoking Jim. We appreciate that.
Alrighty, last week I teased that I was going to talk about the second greatest shortstop to ever play for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And oh, by the way, he's also in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Joseph Floyd Archie Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
Was born March 9th, 1912, passed away August 30th, 1952. He played 14 seasons in the Major League Baseball from 1932 to 1948. He got his nickname early in life despite leaving Arkansas before his first birthday. He made his professional debut in 1931 at 19 in the minor league Wichita Aviators of the Western League,
Wow.
where he hit .338 with 21 home runs. When the Aviators became affiliated with the Chicago Cubs after the season, Vaughn was acquired by the Tulsa Oilers, who were affiliated with the Pittsburgh Pirates. On April 7th, Vaughn was acquired from the Oilers by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Vaughn began the 32 season as a backup to the Pirates starting shortstop Tommy Thevenot.
Wow.
Through the first 13 games of the season, Vaughn only appeared twice, once as a late game replacement, once as a pinch hitter. However, Thevenot was still suffering effects of a season-ending ankle injury he suffered in 1931, which opened the door for Vaughn to take over the job. When Thevenot returned at the end of May after missing a month, he found himself in the reserve role, kind of like Wally Pipp.
Yes, I knew you'd say that.
Okay? Vaughn, who was the youngest player in the National League in 1932, wound up playing 129 games, finished with a .318 batting average, 61 RBIs. His defense was a bit shaky. He led the league in errors with 46.
Wow.
His year was impressive enough to garner a modicum of support for the most valuable player, finishing 23rd. Vaughn solidified his position as the Pirates' starting shortstop in 1933, improving on almost all offensive statistics. In 152 games, a .314 batting average, 97 RBI, 7th and 5th best in the National League, respectively. He also led the league with 19 triples.
Wow.
Finished in the league top 5 in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and walks. Although he led the league in errors again with an identical 46, due to his increased playing time, his fielding percentage improved. For the second straight year, he finished 23rd in the MVP. Vaughn had what is universally recognized in 1935 as his best season. Not only posted career bests in the Triple Crown categories, he led all of baseball with a .385 average,
Wow.
.491 on-base percentage, a 1.098 OPS. His 190 adjusted OPS as of 2011 still ranks as one of the top 100 season scores of all time. His .607 slugging percentage led the National League, as did his 97 walks. His 19 home runs were 8th in the league, and his only time in the top 10, and his 99 RBI were 6. He also earned the first of 6 All-Star starts. Although he was 3rd in the National League MVP voting behind Gabby Hartnett and Dizzy Dean, he was named
Wow.
Player of the Year by the Sporting News. This season has been called the best ever by a shortstop other than Honus Wagner.
Wow.
So, over the next 6 seasons, he continued to be one of the best hitting shortstops in the game. However, Frisch decided to place Vaughn with starting shortstop Alf Anderson in the 41 season. Anderson didn't hit, and Vaughn quickly was back in the starting lineup. In the 1941 All-Star game, Vaughn had 2 home runs and was upstaged by a 9th inning 3-run homer by who is arguably the greatest hitter of all time, but none other than Ted Williams.
Wow.
That was the year Ted Williams batted .400. Vaughn finished the year batting .316 in 106 games. That would be the last year with the Pirates. He did move over to the Chicago Cubs, and he was moved back to shortstop. He rebounded for the first and only time, stole bases led the league in stolen bases with 20. However, the season was marred by an incident that would lead to the end of Vaughn's career. During the season, temperamental manager Leo the Lip DeRocher got into a confrontation with pitcher Bobo Newsom after Newsom complained about catcher Bobby Bragan dropping a 3rd strike. After Newsom was suspended for 3 games, Vaughn threatened to leave the team, handing his uniform to DeRocher for disposal. After Vaughn's display, only 2 players were willing to play for DeRocher that day, but upper management intervened after the season. He left the team, retiring. So, real briefly, Archie Vaughn's career achievements. He first appeared April 17th, 1932 for the Pirates. Last Major League appearance, September 22nd, 1948, Brooklyn Dodgers. Career statistics: .318 batting average, 2,103 hits, 96 home runs, 926 runs batted in. He is a 9-time All-Star, a National League batting champion, a National League stolen base leader, and a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow, what a
Second
career.
greatest shortstop in Pirate history. Now, we're going to talk about the greatest third baseman to ever don the diamond for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Howard Joseph, Pie Traynor.
Yes.
He played his entire Major League career, 1920 to 1937, as a third baseman with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Give you an idea of some of his career statistics: .320 batting average, 2,416 hits, 58 home runs, 1,273 RBIs. I can't lick my fingers.
Yeah. It's tough right now.
Two-time All-Star.
We need a wet towel. Bring the
World
wet towel.
Series champion in 1925. The Pittsburgh Pirates have his number retired in the Ring of Honor. Traynor was born in Framingham, Massachusetts. He received his nickname as a child in Somerville, Massachusetts, because he frequented a grocery store and often asked for pie. The store owner called him Pie Face, which was later shortened to Pie by his friends. Traynor began his professional career as a shortstop for the Portsmouth Truckers of the Virginia League. He was asked by a Boston Braves scout to work out with the team at Braves Field, but the scout forgot to tell the Braves manager, George Stallings. Stallings ran Traynor off the field, telling him not to return. Traynor made his Major League debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates at age 21 on September 15th, 1920,
Wow.
appearing in 17 games. One of his problems, another player who started his career with a lot of errors. He posted a .336 batting average in 131 games, but he committed 64 errors.
Wow.
So he became the Pirates' regular third baseman in 1922, batting .228. Following the advice of Rogers Hornsby, he began using a heavier bat in 1923, blossomed into one of the best hitters in the National League. He hit above .300 for the first time with .338. Batting average, along with 12 home runs and 101 runs batted in.
That's pretty good.
With tutoring provided by teammate Rabbit Marinville, his
I
defense
remember him.
began to improve, leading the National League third baseman in putouts and assists. Pie Traynor played on the Pirates team that won the 1925 World Series, and here's his claim to fame. He hit 346 in the World Series that year, including a home run off a future Hall of Fame pitcher, Walter the Big Train Johnson. The Pirates defeated the Washington Senators in a 7-game series. Trainer ended the season 8th in the MVP award. The Pirates won the pennant again in 1927.
Yes.
And if you remember when I was talking about the Wayner brothers last week, that Pirate team made it to the World Series only to get swept by one of the greatest teams ever put on the field, the Murderers Row 1927 Yankees. That was the last time that they got there. But, career batting average here for Pie Trainer, 320. And the Pirates retired his number. So what we've got last week, 2 of the greatest 4 outfielders to ever play for the Pirates.
Right.
We've talked about 2 of the greatest shortstops and 2 of the greatest third basemen. Next week, we're going for the long ball, boys.
All right.
Did Vaughn in 1948 play with Jackie Robinson for the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Yes. Well, they would have been on the same teams.
Maybe
yes.
That's why they're putting Jackie on the cover of the game.
Oh, I'm sure. That's just the specific reason.
Well, one question. Will Nick and Connor in their lifetime ever see another World Series for the Pirates?
Any other questions?
And let me take over on a light note. That Hall of Fame third baseman came to my baseball banquet. I brought the picture that he signed. Yes, that's the picture that I brought in last year to show you that Pie Trainer signed it. I can bring it again so you can see
Who
it.
can?
American. He was a great commercial guy.
Mexican.
And he was a nice guy in person, Smoking Jim. Just a nice guy, and he signed it right for me. I'll bring it in again next week.
That's awesome.
I'll pull it in. Because, with him losing that, CTE issues, I tell the same story every time. He laughs at the same time because it's new to him.
It is. It really is.
I understand. All right. Well, thank you, Chip, on that. Let's go to the rookie here at the table, Nick.
All right. Well, I was struggling to find out what I was going to talk about this week, so.
As you do. I understand. You're busy at school.
But this week, I turned to Twitter for some answers.
Wow.
Well, that was a mistake.
I found that Trevor Bauer was starting some nonsense on social media like he usually does against Manny Machado.
What do you mean he was doing?
Oh, he called him a name before their spring game.
What about this?
The one eye? What?
He was pitching with one eye.
Oh.
I thought your Twitter would have it. Trevor was pitching like this with his right eye closed.
It's about one of the most useless things on the planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smoking
Twitter
Jim's going to
is.
buy right in on it. But that's why I was showing you. He was pitching like this. Said it helped him pitch.
But he was doing. But that's
Sorry.
just, no, it's fine. I mean, but that's just how silly Trevor Bauer is, and that made me think. This is where media is kind of going now. Before it used to be sports writers who would talk to the players, and the players would be represented by how much the sports writers liked or disliked them, and the players really had no control over their persona, so they had to act in accordance with sports writers. So. Then, broadcasting started to become a bigger thing. TV became a bigger medium for sports. So, I mean, now, they still
Before you were born, this happened.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
just sharing that with you.
I guess I am showing my age a bit. But
yes, you are.
No, I mean, but now we're getting into.
You let it slip out.
Yeah. Well,
I picked up on it. I don't miss too much. Like, look how I got to deal with Smoking Jim. I say no before he asks a question.
But this is kind of something that makes me fear for my job though as a sports announcer, because like before I had the control where I know sports announcers before, like other media personnel, could go in, talk to players freely, and create the content based off of whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
But
now they just make it up.
No, well, actually, no. That's where Trevor Bauer kind of ties in because, I mean, there were sports writers who started, columns started to become, more popular, and opinions started to go out there, and they started to become more extreme. So. When social media came out, the players kind of gained that power now. No longer do the players have to go through media or professionals or bloggers to voice their opinions. Hence, Now we get players like Trevor Bauer who close their eyes while they pitch because they don't like the specific.
One eye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
not
well,
both
yeah.
guys,
Wait until he
just
gets a
one eye.
line drive right off the middle of his forehead. That'll stop real quick.
But I mean, the whole point of this though is just like this is kind of where this is kind of where players in sports and how they interact with the world are going now, because any player now can interact with anybody in the world or talk on their own behalf without having to go through the professionals. I think that there still needs to be a balance because, neither entity should have all the power. It should be, some players should be represented fairly and
Well, here's how simple it is. And now
stop it. What are you doing?
he doesn't have a clue because he never played baseball. So here's what's happening. When you don't want to pay for news sources, then businesses go out of business, and you have social media like this where you can do anything and everything you want, and it's not always true. Like Smokin' Jim brings these half-truths in here all the time, like tonight. So that's what happens when you're not willing to pay. Like my newspaper job's gone. The newspaper's dead here. It was a thriving business, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and it's changed. So this is changing, and when you can say anything without any substance of facts, hence Smokin' Jim, this is what you're going to get with your generation and more. And then when you say, we'll have a journalist actually provide information, but it'll cost you $1, you're going to say, I'm not paying that because I can get all this stuff for free.
Well, I mean, that's a problem in sports, and that's a problem.
That's in life.
So, yeah,
That's
like all
the change.
aspects of life now.
That's why mostly these things, journalists are all opinions. They're not really based on facts. Almost everything you look at isn't factual. I read lots of things. It's an opinion of what they saw of the facts.
Right.
Like Smokin' Jim. It's a half-truth, a quarter truth, 1/20th of the truth. And that's supposed to be a fact.
Right. But yeah, that's why I'm concerned because, I want to be an
You should
unbiased
be.
source, and I don't know if I'll even have a job in the future if social media keeps it up, because who needs broadcasters anymore to give you information? Why not just have the internet do everything for you? So I mean, there's some concern there, and just seeing the stupidity
Well,
of Trevor Bauer.
how about artificial intelligence?
Well, that's a whole.
That could knock you out instantly.
It could. I hope not. But
It's on the verge. It's going to
Alan,
get better.
intelligence and social media have nothing to do with one another.
Hold it. Did you get the first word I told you? Artificial. Listen to that. You're a smart guy. But I appreciate your points well taken because most people, like the guy next to you, didn't even understand that. Yeah.
But balance.
Okay.
That is my point. Balance in all of this. Not too much social media, but not too much power given to the media professionals.
Glad you got that out with only a couple interruptions there. We'll just go to me right away, Anthony. We're running out of time, and we'll just roll through this. On location, we do boxing on Saturday, 6 o'clock. They're looking forward to us. They already wrote the check out for me. They said, how do you want it? I said, please don't let Smokin' Jim see anything.
Yes, you told him lots of zeros, right?
Yes, yes.
At the end, not the beginning.
Yes, yes. From the period. From the period left, make the zeros. So we got that straightened out. We'll be boxing there. USS Fight Academy, 1712, North Lincoln Highway there. And it's in North for sale. So check us out. $20 a ticket. I think they're sold out, but we'll find out. Aaron Donald's supposed to be there with us, so we'll try to do an interview with him. And Anthony, I'm going to change it. We're just going to go right to Penguin Talk because we're under 8 minutes right now, buddy. So I don't want to waste a commercial on great Penguin Talk that we have here.
All right. I got a couple of things I'd like to touch on. First, we can
figured.
talk about the Penguins. Then I've got some questions to ask Jim regarding the Steelers
know
and
you
the
wanna
draft.
talk drafts.
But
That's why I
let's
wanted to go
talk
right
about
to
the
it.
Penguins.
Yes.
Penguins, one of the hottest teams in the National Hockey
That's what I
League.
wanted to bring up.
Tristan Jarry has been playing out of his
Did
mind.
you see
the other night against the Rangers outshot the Penguins in the third period 15-1.
Right.
And what got me fired up about that is they give Sidney Crosby the #1 star for the game. Well, how do you
Jarry.
not give it to Tristan Jarry? He stood on his head. I mean, he did everything.
Did you see that one time where there were like 7 or 8 shots in on him?
And they were at a point-blank range, and he blocked
They
them
were
all.
this far away from him.
And I'll tell you what, the goaltender that we were hoping he would be at the beginning of the
Showed up.
season, he looks like he is going to be. Now, the Penguins playing one of the worst teams in hockey tonight.
Yes.
The Buffalo Sabres.
Don't tell
You
me
know,
the score.
and by all rights, the Penguins should win this game 8-0. And Pittsburgh
probably
is
down
up
by
1-0.
one. Oh,
No,
good.
it's a score game. End of the first, 1-1. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. But we got 2 games against Buffalo, 2 against the Boston Bruins,
Right.
followed by 2 against the New Jersey Devils. The Boston Bruins are one of the top teams in our division.
Right.
But the Sabres and the Devils, 2 of the bottom feeders, and these are teams that we should take 2 points from with each.
The only negative thing I got to put, because I'm not smoking Jim, is Pittsburgh teams have a habit of playing down to the level of their competition. So I'm a little bit worried
And
there.
that stands true for the Pittsburgh Pirates,
All of them.
the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Penguins as well. But we're going to see.
I'm
if-
hopeful.
You
I'm
know,
hopeful.
if the Penguins continue to keep playing the way they're playing and they're getting healthy, and it looks like Evgeny Malkin has been awakened from the dead
A little, yeah.
a little bit. Chris Letang is starting to score,
Yes.
and he's scoring more
shots
than
on
he's
goal.
making mistakes.
Right.
If the Penguins can continue with the level of consistency they've shown the last 3 or 4 games, they could make a run for it. I still don't feel like they're going to make the playoffs.
Just look at their home record with what they've done.
Yeah,
you know, only 2
they
losses
are
there.
turning it around right now. So
Yeah.
my hat's off to Mike Sullivan and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
Next question I have.
Lay
We've
it out
got
there.
free agency starts on the 17th. And teams are starting to cut bait with high-priced free agents because the salary cap was lowered by 8% this year. It's the salary cap for the 2021 season is $182.5 million, down from $198 million last year.
Right.
You called it.
You know, and so
Well, he knew.
there
Revenue's down.
there was talk that the revenue would go down to 175.
Yeah.
So the fact that they got it only down to 182.5, so that means that there's a lot of free agent, high-priced talent out there that I don't think is going to get paid because there's a few handful of teams
Yeah.
that have money to spend. I heard people talking about somebody like Juju Smith-Schuster should go to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be about the biggest mistake he could make because Juju Smith-Schuster is a good enough number 2, number 3 wide receiver. He's not a number 1. And if he goes down to Jacksonville, they don't have a number 1. And then he's going to go down there with a rookie quarterback.
Whoa.
You know, I think it would be a huge mistake for him. But that being said, Steelers have some choices to make. We all know that the Steelers need a running game. We also know that the Steelers need help on the offensive line.
Yes.
One of the things, and I'm throwing this question at my friend Jim because he's the NFL scout,
Yes.
draft Nick, whatever you want to call him. I heard that this year's draft is tackle heavy. So that means that they feel that a quality tackle can be found in later rounds than the first round, and the Steelers with the 24th pick. Everybody says the Steelers need a running game. They need a young stud running back. There's 3 of them that are first-round possibilities. There's Najee Harris. There's Travis Etienne from Clemson.
I like him.
And there's the kid from North Carolina, Jamal. I forget his name. Will either one of those 3 be available at number 24, and do you think the Steelers will take one of them?
I think all 3 got a possibility now. Now, Harris may go a little bit earlier, but the guy I like even better than all 3 of those guys is Stevenson from Oklahoma. He reminds me of Barry Foster a little bit. He's a north-south running back, 250 pounds. He can run. Now, he's been in a little bit of trouble. I don't know what the trouble is. And I don't know if it's a red flag, but he didn't have to sit out last season. But the guy can really run.
Okay, so my question then to you, do you think that it would be wise for the Steelers to go running back first round in this year's draft?
No, not for the Steelers.
What would you? Not. I don't want you to tell me what the Steelers will do. If it's your choice to make the first round draft pick, who would you take?
Well, I believe in taking a Hall of Famer in the first round, and there's only one Hall of Famer that will be around with the
Take
24th
notes.
pick. Best defensive back to come out of Georgia since Champ Bailey. Best cornerback I've seen since Rod Woodson. 6'1", just ran a 4.25 40. Eric Stokes out of Georgia. He's a guy that when he gets his hands on the ball, he can take it to the house. Pittsburgh Steelers haven't drafted a good cornerback since 2003 when I drafted Ike Taylor. I mean, Kevin Colbert can't draft cornerbacks. Their cornerbacks are old. And I think that if I was in the first round, I would take, even though it's not necessarily a need because it's defense.
That's
but it's,
what I was going to question.
it's
Do
a
you
Hall of
think
Famer.
that cornerback is more of a need than running back is on this team? Because I think, you know, with Ben back at quarterback, the receiving core we have, the only thing we're missing is a game-breaking back.
Yeah, we've been missing that for a while. And
Makes a difference.
But me, personally, I believe in taking Hall of Famers. That's what I do.
Okay,
Hall of
that's
Famers.
why I asked you. I wanted your opinion. You know, I personally think I'd like to see him take a running back, but you know, we'll find out because whatever we think, they usually do something different.
Especially the Smoking Jim. Well, we're gonna close this down.
Good job,
Hopefully, it
Jim.
was entertaining. That COVID part, just ignore that and take care of yourself and stay safe and healthy. And we'll be back next week again. We'll have some more information, great stuff from Pirate history that I always enjoy from Chip. And Nick will come up with something as he digs deeper than Twitter. Please stay Joey strong.